guys, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been like forever and I haven't been here. I haven't abandoned you, trust me, and forgive me. So I've had a lot going, and it's been difficult to actually take time out to actually do a proper video. I started a new job and was also, working on my final corrections for my thesis to finally end the journey with my PhD program. So it's been full on for me, but I appreciate the times we are in and recognize the fact that so many people out there don't have jobs, and so many people out there are an information away from getting the right job or acing the right interview. So that's why you've always been on my mind, because I know how long it took me and I know the challenges I had to overcome to get there. So that is why I'm bringing this to you free of charge. People pay for this, but I'm happy to share. So once again, before we start, if you aren't subscribed on my channel, please be kind to do so below. And if you have any comments or feedbacks, or you are in the process of applying for a job and need more advice or guidance, I'm happy to help free of charge. So do not hesitate to drop a message, and I'll be happy to respond. So what are we talking about today? Basically, we are looking at how to ace an interview. The last video on job applications I did was on how to produce or submit a strong job application to be able to get that call for an interview. So now what we're looking at is how to actually stand out and succeed at the interview if you are being called for one. So first of all, when you receive that happy email telling you, oh, you have been invited for an interview, in these times, most of the interviews are remote interviews, which is completely different from what we're used to. But there's still an argument as per which is better, having a remote interview or having a face-to-face interview. Some people might prefer face-to-face, other people might prefer a remote interview. But if you ask me, there's really not much different. There's still people sat there on the panel asking you questions, and you still feel the same nerves, you still feel the same worry, you still panic. It's still the same feelings. The only difference with remote versus face to face is that you don't get to you don't get that tangible feeling of seeing someone next to you. Otherwise, for me, it is the same feeling. You're still nervous, you're still scared, you're still wondering, oh, are the words coming out from my mouth the right words? So yes, for me, that there's really no difference. It's still the same feeling. It's still an interview. So anyways, when you get that interview invitation, the first thing you want to do is to do your work, do your research on the organization that you want to work for. Research it out. And while you're researching it out, like in the job application that we spoke about, I mentioned having to make sure that your either your personal statement of your cover letter or your cover letter is aligned with the person's specification. You want to do the same when you're preparing for your interview, to make sure you're able to prove or to show that you match the person's specification for the particular job. So you make sure you do your research on the organization you're going for, on the job specification. Are they things you're conversant with doing? You want to do more research. If you check online, there are a couple of interview questions that you can practice on. Key things that often come up are things like tell me about yourself. Other popular questions that often come out irrespective of the field you're applying to. One of the top questions that often come out is consistently in interviews like these are questions like why do you think you're a good fit for this job? Why do you want to work with us? Those are things you need to research first about the organization. Do the values of that organization align with your own values? What are you bringing to the table? What do you hope to gain from the organization? Those are things you want to prepare ahead of time. Key things: who you are, a bit about yourself, why you want to apply for the role. And probably another thing they might want to ask is things like, what's your 5-year plan? What's the plan for the next 5 years? What's your projection like? So most of the time, people, when you tell someone, tell me about yourself, people go off on a tangent. Oh, I was born in this place. Oh, I'm this years old. Oh, from this, we are 5 in my family. Those are things about yourself, don't get me wrong. But when they're asking you, tell me about yourself, they're asking you in reference to the job, because you are, after all, interviewing for a job. So whatever you're telling them should be with reference to a job. So for me, I'm just finishing a PhD, and someone asking me, tell me about yourself, I will start from, my field to link it to the job. So I'll start by saying, oh, I have just recently completed a PhD research in this topic area, sustainable return to work. And my hopes has always been to be involved in a job or research position that offers me the opportunity to apply my knowledge, in more, practical, or to solve, practical solutions in organizations. And when I saw this job position, I saw that the job, role directly aligns with my area of interest, which is in this. And I also see that this role, would require conducting a systematic review, and for which I am very, proficient in my master's and my PhD's research. I have had to conduct, systematic reviews. So I am very proficient in the role. And I believe that if I'm given the opportunity, it will accord me, the platform to develop my skills further in the area of this, and also grow my skills in the area of this. So I am excited to be a part of this organization, as I believe I have the right skills to contribute to the success of this organization. So that is you telling them about yourself with regards to your background, about yourself with regards to your interest, about yourself with regards to your skills, about yourself with regards to what you hope to get out of the job. So that's about yourself in a nutshell. But I've come to realize that oftentimes these questions are interrelated. So if they ask you, why is it that you want to, apply for this position, sometimes it's interrelated when answering to, tell me about yourself, because at the end of the day, you're trying to convince them what drew you to the position. So things around, for me, it will be things around, the research methods that you're keen on, the project itself that is within your area of interest could be what attracted you to the job. The fact that you have the right skills and the experience in that type of job could be a reason why you want to work there. And reading up on the organization itself and understanding what the organizations are, is about, what their mission statement is, what their area of interest is, the testimonials of people who work there, what that testimonial is. Those are things you want to mention when you're, telling them why you want to work there and why you're applying for that position, so that they know you have done your homework about the job. So those are key things you want to highlight when you're telling them why you want to do the job. And you need to be confident, in expressing yourself. Be passionate, because people want to employ people who are passionate about the job. And if you're just sat there, oh yes, I saw the advertisement on jobs.ac.uk and I believe I have the skills to do the job. Did you see my face? It was blank. No interest, no excitement, no passion. But when you're very expressive, that's what people might say. Oh, you want to be meet people. When you're face to face with someone, they might not really see your passion. No, even on remote, video interviews, you can be expressive with your face, with your hands. Those are all means of communication, visual aids to communication. So you want to be expressive with your face, with the inflections in your voice, to show excitement with your hand. I saw this advertisement and it directly aligns with my area of interest. I have just completed a PhD in this line of work, and I had hoped that I would be able to secure a job in this area, to be able to practically apply my skills and solve practical solutions in the organization, and to happen on this opportunity. I am excited because it gives me not only the opportunity to work in my area of interest, but it also gives me opportunity to advance my skills, to develop myself further, and also contribute to the success of this organization. My face is expressive. I'm expressing myself with my hands, with my face, my voices. I'm excited. Their keywords. I must point out that their keywords interviewers want to hear in interviews. Things like I am excited. Things like I am looking forward to. Things like I am. They want to see that you would be a good addition. They want to see someone that would, add to an already bubbling environment. So if you're just there playing by the textbook, trying to show, oh, I have the knowledge and understanding for it's not going to work. You need to come off as you're interesting. You need to come off as you're excited for the role and you're looking forward to add to the organization, because they're looking for people that will add to the organization and not people that will just become a liability. So you need to be able to, express yourself in showing them that that's what you are. So questions around what's your, plan for the next 5 years. I'm always very careful about these questions, because you don't want to make them think that you're shooting for too much or you plan to leave them in the next 5 years. So you try to make it very realistic things that you're able to achieve in the next few years. So you say something like that you're hoping that in the next few years that for me, because my background is research, and positions I'm always applying for are either lecturing or research positions. So if I'm answering that questions, I'm oftentimes saying things like, when I saw this position, I was excited about it, as I believe it will accord me the opportunity to achieve my short-term goals, which are basically to develop my research portfolio, further build up on collaborations for more publications in my area of study, to further develop my skills in the areas of this, to grow on the job and be able to add or contribute to the success of the organization. And I believe this position will offer me that. So those are key things I try to highlight, and not goals that shows that you're leaving the organization. So be very strategic in how you're coming across with your goals. You don't want to shoot for the stars and shoot your foot at the same time. So read up on go online, check out for possible questions in your field of studies. I know I have been focusing on interviews questions around my field of study, but at the end of the day, those 3 questions I mentioned are key questions that often come out irrespective of the field. Tell me about yourself, and why do you want to work with us, or why are you applying for this position, or why do you think you're a good fit for this position, and then what's your 5-year goal or expectations or things like that. So work on those key questions and be confident in expressing yourself, and show passion, be expressive, look excited, so that it will show that not only do you have the right, skills and know-how for the job, but you will be a good, addition with regards to level of interest and passion in it, and someone who is willing to do the job. So that's what you want to communicate across to your interviewers. Don't try to show that you're too much for the job. Just compact, package yourself well, look good, irrespective of the fact that it's remote. Try to look good, because they believe that how you dress is how you will be addressed. So look out for that. Also, at the end of the interview, they often ask them what kind of, do you have questions? Please always ask questions. That is key, because that's the sign of someone who is ready to get down to the job, even right now. So some of the questions I like to ask are things like, are there opportunities for personal development? Things like, within the next 6 months, what would be the priority? What would you want me to achieve? What does success look like in this organization, in this department? So those are the top 3 questions I like to ask interviewers, and those are questions you also might want to, also include in your kitty for questions for your interviewers. I will stop here for now, and hopefully I will get more questions from you, and I'll be happy to answer those questions. Like I said earlier, I'm happy to assist. I didn't get you on my own. My journey to where I am today has been a series of helping hands lended to me. So I am always happy to also lend my hand to help some other person, because at the end of the day in this life, we all need people to get up there. So if you do have questions about how to prepare for your interview, or even a job application, or sample personal statements or cover letters, or a one-on-one session to put you through, I am happy to assist. So just drop me a message or comment or like this video, and any other topic in these lines of work or any other area of work you like me to cover, just drop it down in the comment section, and I'll be sure to sort you out. So that is my 2 cents for today. I will cover other topics in no time from now. So take care of yourself. It's still COVID areas, so be mindful of that. To my brothers and sisters out in Nigeria, we are always praying, and we are trusting God to sort us out in Nigeria, because enough is enough. Have a lovely day, and see you soon.